Hey y'all, I'm Doug Grofeld, licensed acupuncturist of over 15 years. I've treated thousands of people with all kinds of painful conditions. In this video, I'm going to show you the do-it-yourself recommendations that I make to my patients, family, and friends. So today we're going to talk about foot pain, also known as plantar fasciitis. Unfortunately, it can be a real pain in the ass and often takes some serious effort and time to deal with. As you probably know, the plantar fascia is on the bottom of the foot. It's this connective tissue that runs from the ball of your foot to the heel bone itself. For the most part, people notice the pain right where it attaches to the heel bone, in this area here. Surprisingly, the real culprit with plantar fasciitis is tight calf muscles. What? The plantar fascia and superior in strength and power calf muscles are playing tug of war with your heel bone, and where your plantar fascia attaches to your heel bone is the weakest link, resulting in pain and inflammation. Now, we can't just do normal calf stretches because, again, that yanks on the painful part of the fascia. So what we need to do is warm up and release the plantar fascia and loosen and elongate the muscles of the calf and heel cord. So one of the first things we can try is a fascial release technique. Basically, we're just going to run our knuckles from the ball of our foot down to the heel. Now, you can also use some strong thumbs if you want. For me, it's a little bit easier with the knuckles. I'm just going to cover the entire width of the foot. So you can do this a few different times over the width of the foot. Now, if that's too abrasive on the knuckles or thumbs or foot, you can also use a lubricant of your choice. I'm a big fan of the Chinese medicinal oil, Posamon oil. Just going to throw a little on a cotton ball, rub that onto the foot, and that feels good and makes it a little bit easier to dig in there. You can really put some pressure on that, and this is maybe something you'd want to do, I don't know, once or twice a day, and just get the whole foot really good, from the ball all the way down to the heel. Another great way to warm up the fascia is to simply roll a ball around underneath your foot. You can use any kind of ball. All the cool kids today are using the lacrosse ball, but you can easily use a tennis ball or even a spiky ball. Even get crazy, use a soup can or something like that. This is a good one for right when you wake up, or maybe right before an activity that would normally irritate it a little bit. You can do it anywhere from, say, 30 seconds to a couple minutes. All right, so we got the plantar fascia, this part right through here, all warmed up and loosened up. So now we're going to do the medial calf smash. Basically, we want to get everywhere in this area nice and loosened up also. So I'm going to start with a ball. First, I'm just going to roll basically just on this side of the bone into this whole area of the calf muscles right through here. So I'm just going to roll through there. You can press hard as you can, and you're going to be on the lookout for any real sore spots. Anything that seems tight or sore, maybe the whole thing. So I'm going to go all the way up to the knee there, and I notice with me, I feel some tension and pain right here. So I'm going to focus on that spot. So I'm going to press down as hard as I can on the ball until I feel it. Take some deep breaths and start moving my foot around. I don't need to put any further pressure on the ball. I just basically want to move my foot around or take some deep breaths and get that spot to release. Now it's already starting to feel a little bit better, so I'm going to move just below that. Do the same thing. Move my foot around, take some deep breaths. Once it feels a little bit better, I'll move on to the next spot. And you'll continue with that until any of those sore spots feel a little bit better. All right, next we have the posterior calf smash. I personally like to use the big spiky ball just due to its size and hardness. I feel like you can get a little deeper into the calf muscle. But once again, use whatever you got, whatever feels like it's working the best for you. So we're going to start at the knee, Find a sore spot up there. Place your other leg on top of this leg for pressure and start moving around the foot. Very similar to the last thing. We're just going to find the sore spots, loosen them up a little bit. You're going to work your way down, all the way down the leg. Don't forget to get to the side. And then to the other side. Take your time with this, really find those spots, really get everything loosened up through the entire calf muscles. Next up, compression wrapping. We're going to use one of these floss bands or compression bands, or sometimes called a voodoo flossing band. I don't know why. But anyway, we're going to do an ankle mobilization with this and a calf mobilization. Okay, we're going to start the wrap at the ball of the foot and continue up to the ankle. You're going to use about 75% stretch through this whole thing. This is one of the best ways to increase the mobility of the ankle. Don't worry if you don't get all the way around the entire heel. Just do the best you can. And when you get to the end, just sort of tuck it back in up there. Then you're going to proceed with about a minute and a half of ankle mobility movement. I like to use this chunk of wood, but you can also do some knee circles or even go in and out of a full squat. After about a minute and a half or so, you're going to remove this band, let the blood come back into the foot, and otherwise rest it for about 4 to 5 minutes. Then you can repeat the compression wrapping for another minute and a half. Same exact process for the calf mobilization, except we'll start just at the top of the ankle and wrap up to just below the knee. Once again at about 75% stretch. Go through the range of motion for about a minute and a half, rest for about 4 to 5 minutes, and then one more wrap for a final minute and a half. Now that everything is warmed up and loosened up, we'll conclude with the plantar smash. This is a much more focused exercise than the ball roll we did before. You're going to start closer to the ball of your foot and find a hot spot. Step down with almost as much pressure as you can handle. Now hold that spot until you feel the pain pressure subside some. You're going to continue this process with intention, gradually moving towards the heel. Once you work out all the hot spots, it's time to work on the spot. This is the place where you really feel the most pain. Start slowly, gradually applying pressure until you feel some pain. Stop and hold. Wait till some of the pain pressure subsides some, and go a little bit deeper. There's a fine line with this one, so don't overdo it. We're looking for the release. We're not trying to kill it. So 2 more things I would suggest doing. The first is Epsom salt soaks. Get water as hot as you can stand, put it in a tub that can fit your foot, and put up to as much as a cup of Epsom salts in there, and let your foot sit in that for about, 20 minutes or until the water basically cools down. The best time to do that is before bed because the magnesium in the Epsom salts might even help you sleep a little bit. And the second is cushy shoes or insoles. Now normally I'm totally against this type of thing. I'm more of a minimalist footwear type of guy. But in the case of foot pain, and I've heard this from so many people, at this point it's just undeniable for me, you need to get a pair of cushy shoes while you're in the midst of it. After that, you can work your way back off them and strengthen your feet up, but during, get some cushy shoes or insoles. So those are the most important things. I know, it's a lot of stuff to do, but foot pain can be really persistent and hard to cure. It's one of those things where you just have to put in the time and the effort. If the pain is real severe, or they've had it a long time, I often recommend to my patients to do this full routine 1 to 2 times a day. There are also some other helpful stuff you can find on my website at dougsdose.com, but the most important stuff is on this video itself. And last but not least, please do me a big favor and subscribe to my channel. And also, if this video really helped you out, please consider leaving a small donation through the link below. Take care and be well.